Hello everyone, and welcome. Yes, my name is Arrowfire, and welcome to another episode of All Talk, No Shock. And today I want to talk about Hasbro pre-orders, because we've seen now for a little while, there is reveals, PulseCon reveals. Hasbro do their live streams. When a leak comes out, they very quickly get one of these live streams available so they can tell you and show you what these figures are going up for pre-order soon. And not long after that, generally the same day, the pre-orders go up on Hasbro Pulse and maybe some other websites as well. Not if you live in the UK, you'll probably get them a bit later. So we play the sometimes unnecessarily long waiting game until we get one of these figures. What we have noticed is that it doesn't take that long until they start going down to, if you like, the sub shops, the shops that don't stock them, not out and out toy shops, who then get them. In this country, we'll have the likes of TK Maxx and Game. In America, I think you have the company Ross, the outlet store out there, that will not sell them, but will pick them up at kind of bargain prices at wholesale to then sell them considerably cheaper than the retail price. But that gap from pre-order to finding them in a bargain shop is very short and arguably getting shorter. And so it begs the question, is it worth a pre-order? Is it worth pre-ordering the latest wave of Legacy Evolution or whatever the toy line is? Because chances are you'll find it at least half the price.
All talk, no shock.
One big example of this was the Legacy Motormaster, the Decepticon Combiner. Now this retailed originally at £95 or over $100. And you can find it as cheap in a shop, not on a secondary market, as £40. That's under half, and you're thinking, it's a big figure, it's a Commander class figure. Why the big reduction? Is it struggling to shift? It might be for a number of reasons, but it comes back to it. Is it worth doing a pre-order in the first instance? Now, pre-orders, I think, are much more for Masterpiece, either official or third party, where the runs are considerably shorter. They do not make into high tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of figures. They're going to be making into single digit thousands, if you like. So when it comes to the Generations line, they're going to be mass producing these to the point that they can't get rid of them in the end, and they'll throw them anywhere you can find them. So possibly, and I have seen people online say this, it isn't worth doing a pre-order. But there are some exceptions to the rule. As with any pre-order, FOMO, fear of missing out, it happens to us all. Sometimes you come across a figure that you think you either sort of want it or you definitely want it. You just want to pre-order it just to be sure that you do, because you do not want to be without a chance to get the figure. That's perfectly fine. I will say, if there's a figure that you particularly want, and you think you might not come across further down the line, or if you do, it will be for an inflated price, it doesn't hurt to pre-order. You are maybe putting a deposit down, but you're not paying any more than what you would. Yes, you get it cheaper in a bargain shop later, maybe, if it gets that far. Recently, I put down a pre-order of the Legacy Commander class Armada Optimus Prime that's been put out on Hasbro Pulse, and that was just to secure it. I mean, I'm quite a fan of the figure, but I don't know if that's going to drop as much in prices. I don't think that's going to do a Motormaster, so I'm just playing safe. Also, if you look at the Studio Series Dinobots, they are like gold dust now, and they retail at a bog standard £55, a leader class price. They are not that on a secondary market, and they are very popular. They're very good figures, so their reputation does lead it to it. But yeah, if you don't pre-order some of those figures with the popular following, like the Dinobots, Generation 1 Dinobots, you could have to pay a lot more on a secondary market. But then you look at some other figures, and some can come right down. Even on secondary market prices, it doesn't take long, I've noticed, for people just put them straight back up for sale. So they've pre-ordered, and then a matter of 2 to 3 months, they're up on Facebook or whatever, eBay, any other sharing platform. So is it worth the pre-order? I would say, on the whole, possibly not. Not when that detachment, not when that difference in time from going from a retail shop at full price to a bargain shop for maybe 2/3 or even half price is so short. It's massively short. And we're only getting this in the CHUG line. So sometimes it's worth hanging on to get a cheaper deal. But I will leave it on this point. This is something a friend of mine said to me. If you didn't want the figure at full price, then maybe you didn't want the figure at all. There's also a varied argument to make. It does depend on size and structure. So a core class figure, for example, could come down, maybe not such in price. You'll get noticeable drops from maybe, I'd say, Voyager and Leader class figures. The deluxes, maybe not so much. And Titans, yeah, they can come down in price. We saw it in Black Zarek, didn't we? Whatever that retailed at, to what that came down to, what was that, £70? So some of these are really worth waiting on for, but then you also do run the risk of it being like a Scorponok or Fortress Maximus. My personal view on it is this: if it's a figure you really want, pre-order it from a vendor of your choice, and in that case you are not going to be disappointed. If it's something you're on the fence on, it doesn't mean that you're probably not going to want it. You just might come to the point where it's for a good price you can't really say no to. Then you might want to hang on a little bit, and you will see people recycling their collections every so often, or people who just get bored of the figures, and you could take it off their hands. And if it's not such a big part of your collection, then you can probably hang on until such a time that you can make it part of your collection. But what do you guys think? Is this something that the pre-order phase of it is not a big cash grab that we all think that Hasbro want it to be? Do they get their money nice and early? Yes, it's probably good for them. But for us as a consumer, do we ultimately lose out? We probably do. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I'd love to know what you think. But thanks for watching. And as always, I will see you on the next one.